How's your audio, man?
Sounds good. How about yours?
Sounds good.
Well, let's get this thing started.
Rocket.
Blow things like ace.
Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. Podcast number
12.
12.
12.
That's like a dozen.
It's a dozen, man. We've done a dozen of these things already.
And
Or
today,
once this one's finished.
today is weekend preview.
Weekend preview.
Yeah, so we had one about last weekend, what all went on.
Mm-hmm.
And how was your weekend?
Yep.
How's your week started so far?
Been good, man.
Been good.
Been good.
Well, we doing our thing, right?
Doing the thing.
Yep. So today is the week preview.
Weekend preview.
So we always talk about what's coming up this weekend.
Yep.
So
What is coming up
what's
this
coming
weekend?
up this weekend?
Well, to start off, hold on real quick, because you always ask me
Yep.
how my week's been going or how my weekend was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to flip it.
You're gonna ask me how my week's going.
Yeah, how's your week going?
Well, everybody knows I've been on a diet, right?
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I had to make a trip to South Georgia.
I heard there was an award involved.
Yeah, I had got one of them awards, and I had to take care of it.
What kind of award was it?
One of them, their fast driving awards.
Driving awards.
Yeah,
Dude.
it was a pretty fast driving award, but they hooked me up. Didn't quite make it as bad as I hope. You know, was hoping that they could knock it even more, but I wasn't near as bad as it could have been.
Right.
So they knocked it down, got it all done. $215,
That's a pretty good award.
and I come out, and my car won't crank.
No.
Yep, it was going dead.
So you walked all the way back?
I did not walk all the way back. Luckily, there was a guy in the parking lot that would take me to the closest auto parts place to get me a battery. So I put a new battery in the car, drove home. On the way home, I had to ride by this thing that says hot and ready.
No, you didn't.
And as bad of a, time with the already just having to drive
Down
2
and
hours
out.
down.
Down and out, yeah.
And,
No, you didn't.
yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
It was hot.
It was hot. It was ready. It was darn good, too.
How many did you get?
Well, I ate 3.
Okay. 3 hot Krispy Kreme donuts
In the
won't
first
kill you.
in the first 5 or 6 minutes.
So,
No, there's my family. There's 3 of us,
right.
and so we got a dozen and we split it.
Got you. 4, 4, and 4.
Yeah.
So you ate 3 in the first 5.
Yeah,
And then you had
cobbled
1
them.
later on.
Yeah,
I got you.
and then I actually shared another one with Brittany because she didn't like it, so I ate it.
Huh?
Yeah. So
Brittany.
yeah, my daughter.
She needs her head examined.
No, it wasn't. It was I don't know. It was chocolate filled, but it was a regular round donut. It wasn't like the normal, cream filled ones that are puffy.
I just like a regular
This
glaze.
looked like a regular glazed donut, but it was chocolate filled in the middle.
I'm with you.
It was-
Okay.
it was
Okay,
different.
Britt.
It was different. So,
Yeah, just give me a regular hot glazed donut and a cup of coffee.
but other than that, right? It was week's been going pretty good. I come in here and
You were busy today.
yeah, we knocked out 3 or 4 lessons. That's
Yeah.
been last. I set up for 3 or 4 more.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
You have seemed to have a lot more lessons since the S3DA State 3D tournament. Would you agree?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would think that could have helped.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not. That ain't.
It's
yeah.
just something that I've
Yeah,
noticed.
I mean, the one gentleman today, he wasn't S3DA, but
right.
he'd been begging to get over here. We've been talking for a while, and
Well, he was here last week. Did a little work on his bow.
and he put them new strings
And
on.
put those
so,
new strings on.
and today we was just getting to find he brought somebody else with him.
He did.
So he called me yesterday and says, "Hey, can you do 2?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, so he brought another young man with him, 16 years old, and his transformation in an hour was ridiculous.
A lot.
It was a lot because he had the fundamentals. We just had to fix the pieces.
Well, that's how it goes.
And so, he was happy. I was happy, and we're gonna go from there. But yeah, and I got several more coming. I mean, it's just, and that's what I love to do. You know that.
Yep, and you're good at it.
Yeah, so,
So if you need a lesson, give Big John a shout here at Ace.
Yep.
770-464-3354. He'll
Well,
get you scheduled up,
well, when I walked in, there were people that I wasn't expecting to be here.
waiting on you.
They were here,
Waiting on
yeah,
you.
just so that they could
Get
get
a
my
lesson.
number. Get my number so he can schedule the lesson.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember that this morning. That was earlier this morning.
Yeah,
It's been a
so
long time ago.
yeah,
A lot has happened.
a lot
since then.
happens in one day, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't picked up my bow like I wanted to. I feel like it's pretty good, but I'm in here talking to you, so
Instead of out there shooting.
instead of out there shooting.
Well,
so,
are you going to shoot 3D tomorrow?
yeah, that's the
Where
plan.
are we shooting at?
You know where we're shooting at.
I need the address.
Uh,
Corey Hunt needs it.
I don't know the address
Oh, I
off the
threw
top of
you
my
right
head.
on the spot.
Yeah, you had to got me all I can look it up.
At
and
the old
post
high
it.
school football
It's
field.
the old high school football field.
Corey, if you hear this later on,
It's easy to get to. You drive down past the store, and you see where the blue sign or greenish blue sign that says rec department, and you turn right there.
or if you're coming from the other direction, it'll be a left.
Left,
But
but same
there's a
thing.
blue
Blue
sign there
sign.
saying Recreation Fields,
And it's Anna P. Richardson.
Anna P. Richardson Road.
So you go across the railroad tracks, and then we'll be on
Down there on the left. Yep.
So
So if you're not doing anything on Thursday, and if you're listening to this on Thursday, tomorrow evening,
Yep.
Thursday afternoon,
Thursday evening,
we're shooting
we're
3D.
shooting 3D.
10 target 3D?
Yep, Ace Thursday 3D. It's 10 targets, $15, 2 different classifications, a close stake and a
45-yard stake and a 30-yard stake.
Yep. So we have the young.
Can I shoot the 30-yard stake
No,
tomorrow?
sir. Mm-mm. Not even with. Yeah, if you shoot a recurve.
No, I ain't doing that.
Okay.
We've already established that.
Yep. So no, I mean, so my day's been pretty good. The rest of the week, been plotting for next week. It's 4th of July is coming,
It is
so we're off.
for Thursday.
Yep.
Where are you going?
The grill,
The grill,
probably.
the house,
Yeah.
ribs,
Mm,
fire the Traeger up,
probably barbecue.
barbecue.
Just because I probably have it cooking while we're
Working on Wednesday.
Yeah. So and Wednesday starts FFA camp.
It does.
So I'll be.
Hey, I love doing the FFA camp. I had a ball last year
Yep.
doing it. I am really glad we're not doing it on the 4th of July
No,
this year.
we made sure we told them we ain't gonna be there on the 4th. So.
I mean, working with those kids and seeing
Oh,
the
it's
smiling
fun. Don't get
faces
it.
and
Yeah.
all that, I had a ball with those kids.
And they have we have a good time. They have a blast. So,
I guess we're going to get on into this thing? Or
well, yeah. I mean, I appreciate you asking. How my week was, and I hope that the rest of the week goes that well. So this weekend, I'll talk about the 2 things that are happening for 2 days. How about that?
Okay.
So, Discount Sporting Goods in Dalton, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
is having a TriState Qualifier.
Okay.
Um,
TriState Qualifier, what is that?
that is an ASA qualifier for Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee.
So try being 3.
Yeah.
Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee.
Yep.
Try.
Try.
All right, so how does that work? Are you qualified now to shoot all 3 state?
Well,
ASA tournaments?
most people would use it for, if you're in Georgia, you'd use it for your Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't qualified for
Alabama,
you could qualify for Alabama. If you hadn't qualified for Tennessee, you could also do that.
Okay. So can a Georgian go
Yes.
to Alabama and win the Alabama state?
Yes,
3D?
they can. Yes, they can. Several of our Georgians have gone across lines and brought home awards.
How about that?
So, that's on the list for the 2 days, the 29th and the 30th. And also, I'll be in Savannah at the GBAA State Field.
Playing on the beach, right?
No, we're not. It's about 40 minutes from the beach. I'll be playing in the woods.
Well, you told me the other day how much you were looking forward to going to playing on the beach.
I don't know about that. I enjoy this shoot. This shoot is my favorite shoot of the year. I can't remember. I think I've made it most every time. I may have missed one
Mm-hmm.
since I've been going, because you learn a lot about yourself and your bow, and you shoot a lot of arrows, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get a whole lot of arrows for the little bit of money you pay.
Right.
So
You got plenty of X10s built?
yeah,
Got
I
enough?
still have a dozen.
Still have a dozen?
I still have a dozen. Haven't broke any. I've broke a few knocks. and I got a few knocks.
Broke a few knocks.
I broke a few knocks.
It's almost like the tweeter.
Yeah, that's right. We broke. So those two things are happening for 2 days. There's a 2-day shoot. So you can either go to Dalton on Saturday or Sunday, or you can go to State Field on the whole weekend. So what's coming up on Saturday, sir?
Sweetwater. Sweetwater is holding,
Another
I believe, a qualifier.
Yep.
So if you have not qualified for the Georgia State ASA tournament, you've got another opportunity. And if you have qualified, you've got an opportunity to up your score.
Yep. Make a better score.
Yep. And then also on Saturday, Sambo is shooting.
Yeah, that's what it says. I mean, I have it on the list. I didn't look at his web page to see if he, because sometimes he changes.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he had some phone issues, and they were out of. When he come
They
back
were
from-
off on Tuesday.
Yeah,
or
something when he come back from
Tuesday,
Kentucky,
something.
he was sick, and also some phone issues. So, but
Well, he's on the list for
yep,
Saturday.
he's on the list.
Old Sambo.
So also, BAM Archery is on the list for an ACL meet.
So that's one of the church league shoots.
Yep, one of the
Up in Carnesville.
Yep.
Where we were for the S3DA State 3D tournament.
Yep.
Beautiful facility.
Mm-hmm.
County facility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if that's where he hosts all his shoots at.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
either.
know the answer to that question.
So
I believe that it is
Yeah.
from what I remember hearing while I was there.
So they have a meet, and I saw the registration go
Because
out.
Galen told me that they had already shot there once before.
Yeah,
Him or Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah.
So that would tell me that that's probably where they
Same
hold all
spot.
the shoots.
Okay.
And if so, like I said before, hats off to the county officials and whatnot for allowing them to use the park. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Well, that's on Saturday and on Sunday.
Gainesville Archery Club.
One of my favorite places.
Dude, let's take a
man.
minute and talk about Gainesville.
Man, that's like
I can remember shooting Gainesville. As a matter of fact, I won my very first tournament at Gainesville.
shooting up the hills and down.
Shooting up the hills and down the hills.
Yep.
It was probably the third tournament I'd ever shot in. Maybe the second. I don't remember. Right. The first one I ever shot in, I shot with David Alligood down at Hillsman's.
I got
at
you.
Robbie Hillsman's.
Robbie?
Robbie Hillsman's place. And then, I don't know. Maybe this was the second. I can't remember. But I had gone over with Chris Childers.
Yep.
And we shot with another guy that Chris had known. And I shot 18 up on a 20 target range. Still wet behind the ears.
Oh yeah. You didn't know no better.
I didn't know any better. I didn't know what I was doing. I
if
mean,
you
I
could
knew
s-
I was hitting 12s,
if
but
you-
I didn't really know how I was
if,
hitting them.
if you could see them, you could hit them. You hit some 14s in that somewhere. didn't
No, no, it was all 12s.
Okay.
Best I remember,
Mm-hmm.
but
Because back in them days, we did shoot 14.
we did.
Yeah.
But Chris Childers is a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, he's
Dude's
he's
like
a great shot. He's
dude
a
is
robot.
like an electric rangefinder, electronic rangefinder, without being an electronic rangefinder. But I'll never forget shooting at Gainesville multiple times. But that is one of the coolest memories I ever have, because that is the first plaque tournament that I ever won. And I remember doing it with Chris, and they were just astonished. Like, well, Chris knew that I had never shot any tournaments, because as a matter of fact, he's one of the ones that kind of got me into them.
Yeah, no, but the other people are like, "Nah, you've shot before.
Yeah.
You're telling stories."
Yeah.
yeah, that happened. That happened to me too. I mean, we got a story on that too, and that was one of them 5-hour tours. We'll go on that later. That's a story for another time.
Story for another day.
But you remember those days when certain groups took forever.
Shot behind them once,
Well, I shot with them once.
and I made sure that
Yeah.
I was ahead of them.
Yeah.
Love them dudes to
Oh yeah,
death,
they're great people. Don't get me wrong.
but if you're in a hurry, that was the group you didn't want to get stuck behind. And some of y'all that are listening to this
Probably
may know who we're talking about.
that's right. So Gainesville Archery Club.
One of my favorite places to shoot. Uphill,
Yeah,
downhill.
I like it. I've had a good time. We've had they've hosted the state championship one time.
Yep.
We've hosted some GBAA stuff.
I remember Stacy Long and I went over there and shot a regional qualifier,
Yep.
or a state qualifier
Yep.
over there one day.
I usually try to get by there once a year before I started this job, because I could get a Saturday or a Sunday, but see
Right.
they're doing Sundays.
They're doing Sundays now.
So I've shot a 900 round there.
I never shot any of the outdoor stuff that they've
Yep.
had over there or held over there.
And I've way back in when, that's what ASA was held
Mm-hmm.
right there
Mm-hmm.
in that same piece of property.
Like a big ASA shoot,
Yeah, so
like Columbus or
yeah, yeah.
Augusta
Uh-huh.
or
A
Texas.
long time ago. Yep.
Was there as many archers then as there is now?
I feel like there were a lot more.
The payouts were better.
Yeah, but I don't know if there was more archers or less archers. I just remember there's a whole lot of darn people. You know what I mean?
I mean, was that place big enough to facilitate a shoot of that size?
And then it was because it probably, you know, you might have not had but 1,000 people. You know.
1,000 people's a lot.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that piece. I mean, they had a little more. It was across the street. And all
yeah.
that. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a great place. Them guys always do a good job.
Bear.
Yeah, and Larry Painter
Mm-hmm.
and
Mr.
all that.
Larry.
Yep, those guys.
Does Jonathan and them guys help over there any at all?
I don't know.
What about Mitchell Irvin? Is he still?
He was
I know he's helping.
He's at the Warrior thing.
Yeah, I
right
knew
now.
he's helping the Wounded Warriors.
They're shooting right now.
So they're still
Yeah, they're still at they were finishing up this week. So
okay. Well, moving on.
Speaking of something else, I did make a post. Wish the best of luck for the 4-Hers because they're all in
They're
Nebraska.
going to nationals.
They're in Nebraska. They're in Nebraska right now. So
That was. I wanted to put a team together for that. We were just a couple archers short.
It just happens that way.
Well, Walton County's program's still fairly young.
Oh yeah, it's a new program.
And we were just a couple of archers short. But
Yeah.
I feel like we had
You're growing
three archers that would have really made a.
but you're growing some archers into that program. Too,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
so that when it comes time,
Yeah. Next year we'll have 3, if not 4.
yeah, and then the
Um,
next year,
We'll have 2 more.
yeah. So I mean, you're growing,
And that's
into
if we
that.
don't pick anyone up.
That's right. You're talking about who you have now.
Who's already
So
rostered.
last name on my list here is Pool Boys down there. Troy in Wrightsville is having a 3D shoot this weekend.
Dude, I wish I could go.
It's
Put on a heck
It's
of a
on
shoot.
Sunday.
I know.
You ain't like you got nothing to do.
But they put on a good shoot.
I noticed you didn't.
They put on a
Yeah.
good shoot.
You always got something to do.
Yeah, got plans on Sunday, so I won't be able to make it. But
Yeah. Well, what bow we shooting at 3D tomorrow?
I'm gonna shoot the red CT9.
Yeah. So that'll be its first 3D preview.
I shot it through paper with my 23s, my PS23s earlier, and I had to make a rest adjustment because it was set for
the 26s,
27s.
27s. Yeah.
Yep, it was set for my 27, so it was just a tick knock high. Raised it up just a tutti frutti, 2 shots, bullet hole. I'm gonna try it. Single bar, 30-inch front, 12-inch rear. You know, I've been shooting the 30-inch front with 2 10-inch rears. Gonna go back to the single offset bar and see how that holds for me on a 3D target. Shooting in here inside, it's been holding really well.
Well, that's a good thing.
It doesn't settle as quick or it doesn't settle as quick in the dot,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fall out of the dot as quick for me. That's one thing that I noticed with the. That was one thing that I noticed with the V-bar setup, that it settled extremely quick.
Mm-hmm.
But if that shot didn't break within the first 3 to 5 seconds,
You
if
got a
that
power
shot
cord problem.
didn't break within the first 3 to 5 seconds, I would start to lose it out the bottom.
Yeah. So then that was,
And it didn't matter how much weight that I threw on the back or how much weight I took off the front.
Yeah. Well, see,
The bow, between the two bows, there was almost 7 to 8 ounce difference. 7 to 8 ounces of difference between the two bows. So it gave me an idea to kind of drop back and shoot the single offset bar, which is what I'm going to do tomorrow, and see how well it holds.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to figure out which
Like
one works best.
Well, like we talked about the other day, I
Yeah.
mean, now I have the ability to play with the two and kind of find the best in between.
I have
Yeah, John is in
been
the
summoned.
he is in the midst of giving a lesson without giving a lesson. So I'll take a second. You can find us on GeorgeArchery.com, Facebook at George Archery, Instagram at George Archery,
Yes. At Georgia Archery from pretty much everything.
Tweeter.
Tweeter. And
Twitter.
you can, if you want to send us an email, it's georgearchery@gmail.com.
Imagine that.
And you can find all of our information and all of our links to all of our social media and stuff on www.georgearchery.com. Did you see the picture
I did.
of the shirt?
I did.
And there was a lot of people who liked it.
Fire.
Yeah, it looked good. So,
The only negative comments that I
It's a
seen
black-
was
black.
a bit about being a black.
yeah, well,
And I'm not a black fan anyway, so
Well,
I have to agree.
I have it in gray, but for
Charcoal
some-
gray would be cool.
I have it on a gray background, but for some reason, or I had it on a clear background. And of course, when I pulled it in, it drops the black on it because it didn't change the back. I had to put a white background on it. or
That's
gray
what I want.
Yeah.
White with that,
So,
that
but-
design would
But that
be
other
fire.
thing that we're working on of the jersey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try our best to get ours in, so everybody can see them real.
Right.
And then we'll probably put some pre-orders up because all of that, like shirts and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I mean, like you said, money don't grow on trees. My bills got to
No.
be paid.
Yeah, mine too.
And I had extra $215 plus battery plus travel plus.
yeah.
Well, it's my fault. Don't get me wrong, but still that was just. Extra
It was a
stuff.
driving award.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it cost me good. But I mean, so those things cost money. So we'll probably pre-order some of that stuff. Put a pre-order up.
I'm down.
With a PayPal type, orders,
Right.
and then say, hey, order by this date, and then we'll make an order.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan. See, now y'all have heard some of the backings of what we're trying to do, because I had some people asking about shirts and this kind
Now-
of stuff. So
Not to deviate from that, but
Yep.
just to all these clubs that we just mentioned that are shooting this weekend.
that's right.
Can they be found on the Georgia Archery web page? Links to the location or the club information.
Probably not,
How come?
because they haven't sent me their information.
So if you're listening to this and you know somebody at Sambo's or somebody at BAM or Gainesville, Bear,
Or-
if you
or
hear this,
Discount
which
Sporting
Bear, I
Goods.
know you're listening because you always do.
I think Gainesville's on the list. They've been up for a long time, but all the
Okay.
newer ones are definitely. I mean,
Troy at Po Boys. I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
No,
so.
that's what I'm saying. So if you know
and I'm
anybody,
not throwing anybody on those.
no,
buses.
I
Just
mean
say
we're
it.
just saying in general. Go to the
Tell 'em.
website, click the link,
Get it filled
fill out
out.
the form, and all of that will be updated.
Yeah. So then you can go to GeorgiaArcher.com.
Yep, click the club link.
Go
and
to
then
club.
It has
Go
a map.
to the. Yep.
You can find
Find where you're going to
you can
shoot.
find who's closest to you,
Boom.
and then you can find out when they're shooting.
And you can do that in one place.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the scheme.
Y'all help us out. Y'all help us get that up
Yep.
and going and improved and better. And
Y'all also remember every picture you post from Georgia, or if you're a Georgia archer, I mean, a hunting post, whatever, shooting.
food plot post.
Food-
if you
I
getting
don't-
ready
yeah.
for.
Speaking of food plot post, there is a company that we sell a lot of their products,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of those shout-out mentions.
Yeah, kind of like we did No Scent.
Yep. Matter of fact, we're empty. There's no pallet back here. I think we just got a new one.
I
in.
think they delivered a pallet today.
What's the name of that company?
SWI.
SWI. His first name is my last name.
Chandler.
Chandler that runs that company.
Right.
SWI. He makes some of the best.
Is it SW? It is.
SWI, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So he makes some of the best. What's that stuff that we feed the deer to make them come
Deer
in there?
candy.
Candy.
Now, I don't know if he makes that at
But
house.
it still comes through him.
He is
I'm
our
not saying-
distributor for
I'm
it.
not saying that he makes that.
Now, he
himself.
does make other things.
He does make the other stuff. He's got the
Protein
feed, the
food plot seed.
food plot seed,
soybeans, and all that stuff.
Yep. So he's got all of that under his thing. So if you want to look that up, matter of fact, we probably put a link into it on our Facebook page just because we gave him a shout out.
And I'm trying to get it pulled up.
Of course, a phone doesn't move as fast as you want to.
Yeah,
right?
I'm almost 110% positive that it's SWI. But when I'm almost guaranteeing that it's something, I'm usually wrong. So according to my wife. So
Well, that's how that happens.
yeah,
I don't.
John's looking
anyway,
it up now.
No, my phone's dead too, or it's not wanting to act right. Anyway, look him up, find him. We'll put a link up.
Do I need to go get a brochure so they know where to look him up at?
Yeah, that'd be
Let me
even
do
better.
that. Let me run downstairs and grab a brochure.
But anyway, the deer candy is unreal. the funny part about that is you put that out, them deer come. They like that candy. And Chandler's a real good guy. He happens to be pretty local and does his thing. You know, he's close. So,
All right, I'm back. And if I'd have known we was going to do this, I'd already had one of these brochures.
well, it wasn't. It's one of
It
those
was
things.
just kind of spur of the moment. But, yeah, it is SWI, Southeast Wildlife Innovations. Several different products, protein feed, food plot seed. I know we've sold 4, maybe 5 pallets of the protein feed in the last month, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And everything that I've heard back from the guys that are using it has always been positive. So personally, I don't have a place right now where I'm using it, so I don't have any personal experience with it. I do the deer candy though.
Southeast Wildlife Innovations.
Yep.
And how do you find him? He's on Facebook. Southeast. I don't know why, because they had the W. Wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Southeast Wildlife Innovations. You can find him on Facebook. He also has a web page. He sells a bunch of different products. So if you go and like his page, put a comment on it, and it says, "Hey, we heard it on Georgia Archery." Not that.
Can't promise you won't get a discount.
No. We're just trying to throw some love to some folks that have thrown some love to us.
Yeah, Chandler's a good dude.
Yep.
His boy shoots on the Joed thing.
Mm-hmm.
We started using the deer candy last year.
Oh yeah,
He brought some in, and
that stuff just like
dude,
it's like
it
crack.
honestly pulled deer that I'd never seen. Now, whether they were going to come to the feed before or not, I don't know. I can't answer that question.
But they showed up on
But
camera.
they showed
after
up
that.
on camera after the deer
Yep.
the deer candy was
So
mixed in. I mixed it in with my corn.
and so and that's another Georgia company, and that's what we're trying to do is promote some Georgia companies. So here's another tip for all you listeners out there: if you know a company that's a Georgia-based company that has
Outdoor related.
archery related, and you want to hear us talk about it, tell us about it.
Yep.
Because we won't know until you tell us.
That's right.
Won't know
Until you
know.
tell us.
That's right.
Won't know until you know.
So that's where we at on that. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I saw he's running this hat giveaway and some seed giveaway.
I've got his phone number and his address right here. 10945 Highway 278 East, Covington, Georgia, 678-342-2204.
Say that number again.
678-342-2204. And that's Southeast Wildlife Innovations.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's just a guy who's trying to sell some stuff. I mean, there's a whole lot of big companies out there that sell a bunch of big stuff. But if you want to support a local guy
Give Chandler a shout.
doing a thing that we all need, we put food plots
We want
in.
healthier deer.
Yeah, we put food plots in. We put the deer candy, the attractions, and and the price wasn't bad.
One of his sayings is the future begins today.
That's right.
Yep.
So the future begins today. If y'all all go out there, find his Facebook page, like it, and then turn around and put a little note on there that says, "We heard it on Georgia Archery."
Heard it right here on Georgia Archery.
That's right.
Podcast number 12.
That's right.
Was that going to cover it?
I don't know. Pretty quick when we might get
Jake may be able to listen to it
listen
on
to
his
it
ride
on
home
the ride
or
to
to work without having to
stop and go.
stop and go. All right, then. Well, we've covered where
We
everybody
covered
can find
where
us.
everybody's going to shoot. We covered how they can find us. We covered the clubs that need to be added. We covered the merch that we're talking about doing. So I guess that's going to be about it for this weekend preview.
Now, are we going to try to nail out another one between now and Friday? Throwing you on the spot
I
again.
doubt it.
Okay.
Probably not get another one in because I'm going to my goal is to jet Friday as early as possible because I still got to make the trip to Savannah, and so that's my plan. So
And what are you doing in Savannah again?
I'm shooting the GBAA
You're
state
shooting
field.
You're getting to shoot it.
I'm going to shoot the GBAA state field.
All right, then.
And I'm taking this podcast equipment. So anybody wants to talk to
Big John?
Big John and George Archery,
They can.
they can. Not while we're shooting.
No. Well, why not?
Well, they'd have to hold a mic while I shoot. I hold the mic while they shoot.
That'll work, won't it?
So, but yeah, matter of fact, there is some plans to talk to certain people down there.
Mhm.
So, that's one thing I want to talk about. There's been several things shared, and we'll talk about it because they'll get them shared. There's been several things shared about the two guys who made the team.
Old Tyler Hale and Ethan Johnson.
Yep. So Ethan has got a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. That's right. He's got a GoFundMe up. We'll probably share it
We
out.
need to share that for him.
And then
Ethan's a good kid.
because
man.
that's
I
a
say kid, he's-
that's a self-funded trip.
right.
In other words, you have to buy your jersey
Okay.
on top of the airfare. If they all had to have their passport before they got there, so they had to buy a passport. They had to but airfare, hotel room, the whole 9 yards. They got
I
to pay
struggle
for
with that some. That bothers me just a little bit.
it. I understand that, and we're not, that is definitely a podcast for another day.
That bothers me. I mean,
Um,
these guys have shot and earned a spot.
Yep.
To go represent the United States of America
Yep,
in a competition
It's-
against other countries.
and it's self-funded.
self-funded.
Now the outdoor that they won, Joseph Scarborough, Anna Scarborough, Matthew Russell, and that group,
Curtis.
Curtis. I was trying to think. There's 4.
Mm-hmm.
All of that group. Now I hear that's not self-funded. That is more.
But
of a
yet the
funded
3D
trip.
side of it.
So and so that's like I said. Jake he'd have to listen to this twice if we started on that. That's a rabbit hole we won't want to go down
Won't
today.
go down today.
But there is a problem there, and we may have to fix it. This is only the second year that we've actually sent a team to the 3D, so it's one of those back burner things. I think it's one, so it's new,
Right.
so it may take a little bit.
Even if they covered the cost of the jerseys for crying
Yeah,
out loud.
I'm 100% agreement with that. I mean, you're representing us. At least give you the shirt. Whatever.
I mean, I shoot well enough. I have prepared well enough. I earned a spot
Yep,
on this team to represent the United States of America,
that's right.
and I've got to buy my jersey to do it.
As far as I know, yes.
Wow.
Anyway, so there is a GoFundMe for him, and Tyler, if you know Scott at RBO, he's accepting all donations through PayPal. He'll take credit cards or whatever. He's accepting donations for Tyler.
Okay. So Scott's doing that at RBO.
So he's doing that at RBO, so you won't have to go through the GoFundMe piece. So we will probably have all of that information and more for you on the next week's podcast.
Okay. You're going to talk to them while you're in Savannah?
Whoever's there, I'm talking.
Gotcha.
So
Well, let's kill this thing so Jake can get out of the truck and
Yep.
either go in the house or go into work.
probably on the way to work.
Yeah, I would figure it's going to be in the way.
Well, like I said, you know where to find us. We're here. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate all the feedback. Hashtag Georgia Archery on all your pictures. And until next time, I'm Big John.
And I'm Robbie.
We'll see ya.